Hi, and welcome along to the best of enemies. Hey, you're looking trim though.
You've been running from the show.
Don Robbie is here in Saudi Arabia.
Man.
What are you about your team?
It's not about Man United right now.
I'm on Saudi Arabia, man. They ain't gonna let me down. What an exciting game.
You were robbed.
You weren't
I
robbed.
was
It's
offside.
VAR.
We are here today for the burial of Arsenal's Premier League dreams.
How you doing, Rob?
How are you, bro?
Well, none of you two can talk to me because at least we challenge for the league. Al Riyadh, they're taking on Al Nassr today. Big game. One of the biggest games of the season.
Do you know how shameless you are, bro? You're supposed to be winning the league, but you're doing a hate-along, bro.
I've been chased by a tractor. You've brought in opera singers. When you say Tottenham, you put respect on us.
Depart the room for about the next 5 minutes or so
How?
because we're going to talk about the Champions League. Who would have thought a Tottenham fan, a Manchester United fan, and an Arsenal fan would get along? Well, sometimes.
Yes, everybody, welcome back to DR Sports. Welcome back to Live at 5 on a Friday. I'm sure you guys have had a fantastic week. It's Friday, the Premier League after 2 weeks. We're so close. We are so close. It's been an interesting 2 weeks. There's obviously been the international break. There's been some crazy games that were on earlier on this week, like big up to Scotland, Wales and co. Maybe not so much for my co-host today, Robbie, with Jamaica. That wasn't the world's best second week for you, was it?
Be careful right now. Be careful.
Hey, look, my team won 7-1, Wales won 7-1, so I'm buzzing. But I know that it would...
You Welsh?
Yeah, it's on the necklace here. You never hear it in my voice, but I am, funnily enough, yeah. But today, Friday, obviously, I know you would have watched the 12:30 weekend preview, but we're going to be going through some of the games. Obviously, there's 10 games this weekend, starting at 12:30 on the Friday with Burnley-Chelsea, and then you got all the way through to the United-Everton game on Monday night. First Monday night football I can remember for United in a while. By the way, we've got so many Monday games as well in the next month or so.
That's what happens when you get knocked out of all European competition.
It is, isn't it?
And you're a big club, right? You're primed for Monday nights. That used to happen to Arsenal a lot when we were out of all competitions. First of all, before I get into anything, right, I need to ask you something, right? Because this week I've been getting a lot. So there was a day when what was that day when you were chatting about Fabregas and
That was on Wednesday.
Wednesday. So since Wednesday, I've been getting a lot of phone calls, right? One was from the hospital, who called me to find out if you'd escaped or something like that, the one of the wards, right? Now, did you seriously say on that show, right, that Bruno Fernandes is better than Cesc Fabregas?
Shall I give you the full...
Is that what you were saying?
Shall I give you the full context
because
of what happened?
The other thing is as well, right, a lot of people were messaging me and saying, Robbie, just make sure the dog's on today instead of you, right? Because maybe your dog might have a bit more sense into...
Hey, Alice has got ball knowledge. I can't knock that.
Bruno Fernandes better than Cesc Fabregas.
That's what I said, and that's what I'm going to
No, are you sticking by that?
I'm going to stick because I'll tell you. So I was in Leeds.
Get Alison the dog in.
Get Alice.
Get the dog in, Kenya. Right?
Alice wasn't called up today.
What?
I would have brought her in, but no. So basically, what I
Explain
said,
to me, man.
What I say. Okay, so the context is Abby and I were trying to find something to talk about, and then so we got some of the fans to send in hot takes, huh?
You're bored then. That's why you just came out.
We got some fans to send in hot takes, and the hot take was, can't remember who it was from, but they said Bruno Fernandes is top 20 midfielders of all time in the league, but he won't get the appreciation he deserves unless he wins a Prem. I didn't write that, but I agreed with it. And then 20. So Abby then brought up a list of top 30, and we were going it's just like a those like online lists that random people just that websites make, and we went through the list, and she was like, okay, Nate, just like look at this list. Who do you think Bruno says? And there was like Arteta was in there, Ji-Sung Park was in there, and a couple others were in there. And I was like, Bruno gets on all of these guys. And then I happened to just mention Fabregas' name because I read it. And then Abby went, you think he's better than blah, blah, blah? And then I went, at the ball at his feet, Bruno can do more, is what I was trying to say. Huh? And then I just went, you know what? Yes. And then I've been flooded, you've been flooded. But then at the FCAs yesterday, I had some analysts come up to me and go, I would never say that in public, Dylan, but you are right.
What analysts are those? Who are these people?
People from the overlap. People like
the overlap. Listen, I don't believe you.
Overlap breakdown. Big up Harrison. Big up.
He said that.
UFC. He was.
So
you're
trying to drag people in. You're trying to drag people into it as well.
Look, they basically said I would never say that publicly, Dylan, but Yes, I agree with you. So I won't name them, but I'm not being schizophrenic here. Like, don't need, tell the hospital I'm fine.
Not a chance, man. Cesc Fabregas is miles better. Miles better. I'm a guy, I defend Bruno Fernandes a lot. I rate Bruno Fernandes, but he can't talk to Cesc Fabregas. You must be joking.
Look, so when I was going through some of the comments as well after, obviously the about 4,500 comments that the Arsenal had
exactly.
after I said that, bro.
Exactly.
It's a good performing reel. But some of the points people were making was saying, they were realistically saying that Bruno Fernandes is... What were they saying? They're basically saying that they don't think Cesc Fabregas could have done what Bruno's done in this United team. That I actually agree with. I don't think Cesc Fabregas could have gone through what Bruno's gone through and maintained his performance levels.
No, Cesc
I'm
Fabregas...
not
Cesc
knocking
Fabregas was in an
saying that
Arsenal
he's
team
not,
that
he's
weren't
not
the
one
greatest.
of the best. Yeah, and Bruno's achievements pretty much at least match what Cesc Fabregas did at Arsenal for the most part. Cesc Fabregas did what he did at Arsenal specifically, pretty much what Arsenal have done for 20 years anyway. FA Cup win, Community Shield win, getting close in the Champions League, lost the Champions League final, lost the Carabao Cup final as well. But all he won was an FA Cup.
Bruno Fernandes is not at the levels of Cesc Fabregas. Cesc Fabregas passing range, Cesc Fabregas scoring goals, Cesc Fabregas influencing games. Cesc Fabregas was like a world-class player, right? Bruno Fernandes, for me, is not a world-class player. He's a
You don't think he's world-class?
No, he's a very good player. I think he's a very good player. He's not world-class.
How can he not be world-class if he's such a record breaker? Like, the records that he's broken in terms of, like, most... He broke Lampard's record. So Lampard, just in European
he was
football.
better than... What, you saying he's better than Lampard?
No, so Lampard had the record for most goals scored by a midfielder, right? Bruno then broke it, and then started the new season, and then broke it again.
Probably been playing in the... What, in the Premier League?
No, just like a European team, all competitions, Bruno holds the record and also second place for most goals in a season. When you're doing things like that, and you've got two of that top three.
No, but overall, he's not.
And
scored.
Other things that Bruno's done.
Lampard
I don't think you can't not call him a world-class midfielder.
Lampard had one season where he scored over 20 goals as a midfield player.
Yeah, and Bruno scored 34 all comps. That was the season. The season he joined United. No, but so that's the record.
Listen, he's not as
Lampard
good.
got like 32 all comps, I think, or 33 all comps, and then Bruno got 33, and then 35.
He wasn't better than Lampard.
I'm not saying he was.
He wasn't better than Lampard.
What I'm saying
he wasn't
is,
better than Fabregas.
If he's in those kind of conversations where he's the top of charts of records like that, you can't. Isolating Bruno from any other midfielder, I don't think you can then say he's not a world-class player.
He's not a world-class. Bruno Fernandes is a very good player. He's a very good player. He's not world-class. I think he's a world-class player. If he was a world-class player, he wouldn't be at United. Not to say United isn't a player that has world-class or attracts world-class players, but for the amount of time that he's been at United, bigger clubs would have come for him.
They have.
When I say bigger clubs, like your Real Madrids and Barca.
Have. He stayed.
Why is he still there?
Because he wanted to stay.
Nah, man. Listen, they weren't serious then. They weren't serious about taking him. He's not world-class. He's very, very good.
As I said, world-class player.
I'm a guy that I defend when everyone says, "Oh, he was always moaning, crying, stuff like that." I say, listen, I think a lot of that's frustration because he's a very, very good player, but he ain't done nothing to warrant no world-class tag.
What? How is he not? He's had 6 seasons straight of being one of the best goals and assist people in the league over the last couple of years. In a team that's performed so poorly for so long.
No, I'm not. No.
And also internationally, he's won multiple international trophies as well.
Quality player. Yeah, but a lot of times he doesn't even play for the international team.
Oh, he's also...
He's not a regular. He's not always been a regular.
He's created more chances.
He's not always been a regular, innit, at the international side, has he? He's not always been a regular. When I say regular...
The last 4 seasons,
a starter.
He starts every game for them.
Is he like one of the first names on the team sheet?
Easily.
Recently, but not always been.
In the last 4 years or so.
Not always been.
So, for example, if you want evidence, for example, Bruno Fernandes created more chances than any other player since his debut in the Prem. It's like 550 more.
Been there a long time.
More big chances.
Like you said, he's been there. He's been in the league a long time, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's been in the league a long time.
In the league for about 6 years.
I'm sorry, like you can't. He's not. He weren't as good as Lampard. Lampard led his team to titles.
He doesn't have to be as good as Lampard to still be a world-class player.
No, he's not as good as Lampard.
Lampard was an elite level. Lampard was elite.
Exactly. Lampard and Cesc Fabregas were elite players, right? You cannot tell me Bruno Fernandes is an elite.
I'm saying he's world-class.
Yeah, to be world-class, you've got to be elite.
No, you've
got to be an elite player.
I'd say that elite is the creme de la creme category.
World class.
For me, I put For
world
me,
class.
I've got
Elite.
good, great,
to me,
world class, elite.
No, to
elite,
me,
elite is like we're talking like elite is top 5 of all time in a position.
Well, he's nowhere near that.
No, I'm not saying he's near that, but my whole argument initially was that Bruno was top 20.
What's world class then?
World class would be 20 to 5, and then the top 5, or 20 to 6, and then top 5. So you got Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard, and then maybe I can't think who else.
I remember a guy saying something like, how he classes world class is you're in the top 5 players of your position in the world, right? And I like that description when that guy made that, right? He ain't in the top 5 right now.
Attacking midfielders
in the world. He'd be lucky to get in that in the league, in the Premier League, let alone in the world. He ain't in the top 5.
Five attacking mids better than him in the Prem?
In the Prem?
Yeah. You said he's lucky to be in top 5 in the league.
I didn't say he wouldn't get into it. I said he'd be lucky to get into it. He'd probably just scrape it. Because now
he does get
right
into
now
that.
even right now a lot of your fans have been saying he shouldn't even be starting. At the start of this season, a lot of your fans are saying, up until the last couple of games, a lot of your fans are saying get rid of him. Am I right or wrong?
They wanted the money. That's the thing, though. Like, if you've got a really nice
money,
watch,
man,
if you've got a really nice watch, it can still be a nice watch. And then if someone goes, all right, I'll give you £500,000 for that watch when it's worth 200,000. Well, that's an insane amount of money. But like, offer you like well over. Like, it was £100 million offer for Bruno Fernandes. Even I was going £100 million. If the club decided they want to do that, I would back the decision. I didn't want him to go. £100 million for a 31-year-old. Is insane money. That's mental money. That would have got us like another 3 signings.
So you think when you think he'll go next year? Probably, right?
I have a feeling that there's a release clause in his contract. Right. It's about something like 60 million quid or something for certain teams.
You think he'll be remembered if he goes next year as a world class player at Manchester United?
Yeah. I really think. I think he retires. I don't. He will. I think
he'll be remembered as a very good player.
I think he's so underappreciated.
So you think he'll be a Hall of Famer in the Premier League?
No, he won't get into the Hall of Fame.
Well, if he's world class, surely he'll get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but think about how many world class players have passed through the Premier League.
But he's been in it for the length of time that he's been in the Premier League, because he's been in this league for a foreign player. He's been in this league a long time.
6 years, coming up 6 years now. And he's consistently been one of the best.
Next year he'll make 7, and he wouldn't be a Hall of Famer.
No, because he's not I don't say he's not won a Premier League title. He's not. I wouldn't say he's achieved enough team achievements in the Prem to be like a Hall of Famer in the way that, for example, like Gary Neville with his unlimited Premier League titles almost pretty much, and Gerrard with his legacy, etc. The position of the team that he's in has meant that he probably won't. But I don't see why he wouldn't have been in the squads for some of the best teams that there have been, at least at United, for example. Like, there's a space for him in almost every squad.
Says Fabregas, he was almost like a Dowman, man. He was 16 when he at Arsenal, and he was bossing it then, bossing up midfields then. Nah, man, no. I'm not having him better than Cesc Fabregas. As I said, very, very good player. I'm a guy has defended Bruno Fernandes many a time when people say he's rubbish and a lot of that is to do with sometimes his attitude thing. I've said no, he's quality. He's quality. He scores goals. He's a quality player. And maybe I feel a bit sorry for him sometimes, because I think if he was in a better team, he might even be better, looked upon as better than, But you got to say he's the leader of that Manchester United team. And I just think he's very, very good. I wouldn't put him in the world-class bracket. And a lot of United fans will not say he's world-class. You're one of the few that I've heard say that.
I think there are a lot more than you think.
I've heard very few United fans say he's world-class. What I've heard a lot of fans saying is get rid. Blaming him when it goes wrong a lot of times. He was there sulking.
He's the whole figurehead.
He didn't put a tackle. He never puts a tackle in. He never gets back and helps out. His all-round game is not great.
Okay,
his all-round as a midfielder, his all-round game is not brilliant. His all-round.
He's an attacking midfielder, basically playing as a number 6.
And even at the moment, it's like you guys don't even know where to play him. What's his best position?
His best position is number 10. The closer you can get him to the penalty area, the better he is. My favourite thing about Bruno Fernandes, I know this is a bit biased, but my favourite saying about Bruno Fernandes I've heard so many times is every midfielder is better than Bruno Fernandes until it comes to playing against Bruno Fernandes. It's one of my favourite things to say about Bruno, because that's genuine how it's like on the day.
Where did that saying come from? From you?
I don't think it was from. I can't remember who I heard it from.
So
I think it's so. For example, like so many midfielders, like you can compare them to Bruno. You say Odegaard better than Bruno, or another like Kudus maybe better than Bruno, or Xavi's going to be better than Bruno. And then when it comes to then actually playing against them, pretty much almost every time Bruno comes out on top when on the pitch. Almost every single time.
Xavi.
Yeah, Xavi's not better than Bruno. I'm just saying like
Barcelona Xavi.
No, the Spurs one.
Oh, Xavi Simmons.
Yeah, Xavi Simmons. Yeah. So no.
Well, you get the full names in there, right?
Yeah. So,
you make sure you get
Xavi
the full names in there, because they're going to be.
It's but basically,
right.
he asked to be called
anybody
Xavi,
who clicked that, add the Simmons on the end.
Add the Simmons, please.
Yeah, all right.
I've had enough with out of context clips, Richard. I've had enough, and out of context quotes as well. I've seen all the quotes. Yeah, no, that one very much do not clip that badly. Huh?
We strayed, didn't it?
But yeah, we're meant to talk about. Well, Turbo Twins sent a super chat saying, "So Robbie, by your logic, Saka is not world class."
I don't think he is yet. I think he's getting there. He's getting there, right? But I don't think he's quite there yet. I've said that before. I think it's a hard one, because sometimes he's on the verge of being world class. I feel he's on the verge of being world class. I think if he can, let's just say we win a title and he's at the forefront of that, then I'll put him in that category, because I do think at international level, he's verging, because, you see him in every major tournament he's been for England. He's been exceptional.
Well, remember the first one, was it Euro 2021? He came in, he's starting right wing as a 19-year-old.
Yeah, he's been exceptional.
He was
right.
incredibly
To me,
good.
I look at it, I say the three main players for England right now is Harry Kane, Declan Rice, and Saka. There's four players that are.
I hear that.
There's four players in England's team that are immediately on the sheet, right? When that team's named Pickford.
Yeah, I was about to say
Saka,
Pickford and them three.
Kane and Declan Rice, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I think with Saka, probably just needs a title or that just to add to it for me to then say yes. But he's on the verge of it. It's quality player.
I think
what I love about him, and maybe this could be sometimes a bit of Bruno's downfall, right? When we're talking that category, but Saka is crazy consistent. There's literally every game. It's always a 7, 8 out of 10 plus. Up until recent times when he got injured at the tail end of last season, he's been so consistent for Arsenal. But I think he does need. Maybe
what does he need to do then to get?
Probably needs a league title or something like that. Because that's the thing that then elevates you into.
So his
probably the same with Bruno.
His perception. That's the coming
probably
back to the original thing. I feel the reason I agree with that hot take that we had on Wednesday was that the entire thing was he is top 20 all time, but he won't get that recognition because he doesn't have.
Yeah, I think
he's not Steven Gerrard, who's probably the only one who can get in there without a Prem title under his belt.
Yeah, but he's got a Champions League.
Exactly, yeah. Where Bruno doesn't have the accolades to back it up.
Sometimes you need one of them. You need one of those.
Well, because it's the easiest thing to then, I guess, in an argument, then clap back and just say, well, he hasn't got this then. So I'm like, you might go.
I think sometimes you need that big one. You know what I mean? It's like Dembele, isn't it? Like
you need that photo of you.
Champions League, like even though he'd won leagues in France, people say, okay, yeah, but once you got that Champions League and he had a great season, everyone's like, right now, yeah,
you
got that status. So sometimes I think Saka probably needs something like that.
Yeah, but as you said, we spent the first about 20 minutes talking about. I went, we're gonna do some predictions, and you went, Dylan, I got to speak to you. I literally was getting messages from production being like, Robbie sent a message. But doing some predictions ahead of the game. Obviously, it's a big weekend for Arsenal, huge weekend for Arsenal, because A, who you're playing, obviously you're playing Spurs at home, but then B, also who your title rivals are playing in City are going away to Newcastle. Newcastle, 6 losses, I think, this season. I think they're having a worse season than people are maybe giving attention to. And then City are steamrolling it. But do you think this could be a very pivotal weekend? Because you had all your wins back to back, however many wins for Arsenal. Then you got the draw, conceded goals finally. City are just like, Haaland's looking ridiculous now. It's like he's got even better, and I don't even know how. Personally, I don't know how he's done that, because he's just better and better and better. But with this, do you reckon, especially if Arsenal can get over the line against Spurs, because you're playing the day after Man City, that would do a lot to kind of calm things down around Arsenal a little bit?
Listen, we're going to have this all season. Right?
Of course, yeah.
I mean, like, I've been saying from a while, it's still early in the season. Arsenal have been doing brilliantly, right? But it's still early. It's about just being consistent at this stage. You can't draw any conclusions of, even if we won and they lost, if we then went next week and lost to Chelsea and they won, then it's all back again. They're breathing down your necks. It's still a long way to go. I kind of like to look at things when we get to Christmas and then say, right, it's looking good for us then, you know. But listen, they're breathing down our neck again. They're 4 points behind. They can put a lot of pressure on us by going to Newcastle. Won't be easy for them because even though Newcastle have had a bad start to the season, they are, when they're at home, that's not easy. Like Arsenal, we beat them in the last minute of the game.
They came back and
Liverpool beat them in the last
yeah.
minute of the game as well. They've been a little bit, I thought we deserved to win that game at Newcastle, but the game against Liverpool, when they were down to 10 men, they didn't really deserve to lose that game. If you remember
not
that
at
right.
all. But I think that game said a lot about Liverpool as well. I think that's where everyone turned around, especially like with obviously AGT getting his all the stick he gets. That's where people turned around and thought, okay, Liverpool are a bit in trouble here.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, they're now below us.
I mean, listen, that was a really impressive performance by Man City against Liverpool, and that's got everybody sitting up. And Haaland's been on fire, but there have been vulnerabilities. That's why I was very surprised at how poor Liverpool are, because there has been vulnerabilities, haven't they, with Manchester City this season, with their defence, midfield, but everything seemed to click in that game. Or was it just that Liverpool was so poor that they just made them look so good? I don't know. I don't know what to think, but certainly City are there, and this is a big game. Can Newcastle do anything? And it's a big game for us. Listen, it doesn't matter how well we're playing. It's the North London derby. You know that Tottenham, I've done a Best with Enemy show earlier, right? And watch that. It's a brilliant show. We were going at it, me and Expressions.
Funny.
But you hear him talking. He'll take a draw just to, take points off us. So you see, like how difficult a game that is for us, because they just want to stop us any way possible, take some points off us just to derail our hopes. So this is a really tough game for us. So we've got a great record against Tottenham at home. We've got a great record against them. Arsenal have been playing well. Even the game against Sunderland, I know we dropped points, but we still played all right in that game. That was a good performance. 1-0 down. I was at that. I was at the game and I was like, right, we haven't played well in that first half. This is a test now for Arsenal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the place is on fire, great atmosphere. It's like an FA Cup game. How are Arsenal going to respond to this in the second half? And they responded brilliantly. And it was a last-minute equaliser, a bit of a sickener. But I don't think there's anything to worry about when it comes to Arsenal. We're still playing well. I guess the only thing is, the injury to Gabriel, that's a bit of a blow because he's been so good this season. He's always does really well against Tottenham as well. But Arsenal are playing well. They just got to keep doing what they've been doing all season, which is they've been playing well and they've been consistent. We've only lost one game. Yeah,
with Arsenal, I got to admit, it's a different Arsenal to the last 3 seasons. I really think it is.
I don't know.
I expected, I'll hold my hands up, I expected the opposite to happen. I expected Arsenal to not be able to sustain it after going second. Most times that would knock you. But I reckon the way that from when Berta came in March and then changed how you did your business, I think that really lifted Arsenal massively. That almost feels like, not the last 3 years didn't happen, but it's like it got taken on board really positively because you made that change upstairs.
Better squad as well.
You made so many signings that were so needed that Arsenal then were able to almost change your identity. But it's the same similar style of football. Obviously, it's still Arteta. It's still a lot of the main core group of players. But if everything around it and the foundations changed, and you took the 3 second places in a row. Admittedly, Arsenal were the only team to have done that before. Finish second 3 times in a row, then go on to win the league. You did that years ago. But I do think that massively to Arsenal's credit, and I think specifically, am I saying his name right? Berta.
Yeah.
Is that you say? Yeah, specifically to his credit, the way that he was able to change the way you do business behind the scenes to then give more confidence despite falling short 3 times in a row. It's massive to him. And
I think what it is with Arsenal, and you're right, there is something different about them this year. I think they've learnt. So they've learnt 2 things, right? I think, first of all, the players have learnt that, this is a long league, right? So don't get carried away. Just try and be consistent every week and do your job, and don't run on emotions. So I think they've learnt that, and they're more clinical, and they've got more belief this year. And I think behind the scenes they've learnt that if you're going to compete in this league, you need a better squad. Last year got killed by injuries, Arsenal. You know what I mean? Lost key players. Saka went out for.
Was it
4 or 5
Saka and Odegaard
months.
both got injured?
Odegaard was out for
time,
about 4 or 5 months. Gabriel, remember?
Yeah.
Was out like the whole of the end of the season. Havertz has only played someone's saying to me he's played 1 game this year. You know what I mean? Like,
has he really?
Yeah, I think he's only. It might have been 2, but he's been out injured ages. Still out.
He got delayed, didn't he?
We just had so many injuries to key players who just didn't have a chance in the end, right?
But you've had it again this season as well, though.
But the difference is this season is the squad. So they've got a much better squad. So Martin Odegaard has missed the majority of this season so far. But he's not really been missed as much as he would have been last year, because you've got Eze who can come in. You've got players who can come in for him. Martinelli's been out recently. Trossard's come in and done a great job. You know what I mean? When Saliba was out, Mosquera came in and done well. So we just had a really good squad that has really covered off a lot of the injuries. And we go into this game with no Gabriel, but I think a lot of people are confident, whether it be Mosquera or whether it be Nkapia, these guys will come in and do a job. And that's what they've learned. Go and put a squad together that can cope with the injuries and cope with the amount of games as well. Like, we're coming up to that busy period where you've got Champions League games, you've got the Carabao Cup, you've got the whole Christmas period all congested. You need a good squad for that. When you get into January, February, when sometimes that goes bad for us, there's more players available of quality, and it's a quality squad as well. Odegaard's out, Eze's in. That's not bad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, even like, for example, when Saliba went off injured in the 3rd minute against Liverpool, Mosquera came in and it looked like he had been playing 50 years for Arsenal.
Yeah.
50.
If Timber's out, you can bring Ben White in, you know what I mean? If Calafiori's out, Mars Lewis Skelly or Nkapia.
Gabriel is out, and
there's a better quality of players coming in now than a couple of years ago it would have been Rob Holding, or last year it would be Jakob Kiwi or
starting.
You know what I mean? So there's a better quality of player that's been coming in, and they've really learned and really strengthened that squad, and that sets us in good stead. We're up against Tottenham. They've got a lot of injuries as well, to be fair. We've got injuries, but I think that our squad depth is better.
Yeah.
And we're at home. And I'm confident that we'll get the result.
Yeah, there's just a base. There's such a base of confidence. I won't ask you for your score prediction because I know you gave it on Best of Enemies.
Yeah.
And for those asking, it'll be out soon. But after this show, at some point, it's literally hot off the press as well.
Hot off the press.
It's filmed about an hour ago.
We filmed it a bit late because Expressions. To be fair to him, he hasn't been well, but he couldn't miss this one. And he was in for the show, so
sure.
Oh,
it's such a funny
you wouldn't
show.
think he worked well the way he was carrying on the show.
There was a point I stood behind it, and it was just like he didn't stop talking to the camera for about 7 minutes.
Yeah, and a fight broke out.
So funny,
as it always does when we do the North London derby.
Yeah, very, very good. But there's also, obviously, there's other games on this weekend. But the game I'm looking at, it's 3 o'clock. It's Liverpool at home against Forest. Oof. And I'm looking at that game. Liverpool have, 6 losses in 7 in the Prem. Something crazy like that.
It's mad.
And they're playing against Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it going, like, Sean Dyche's Forest, obviously, his first home Prem game was against us. And I thought Forest actually looked quite good. They've obviously got Elliot Anderson, who's just phenomenal. I've been banging. I went through my Twitter. I've got 2024, 2023 tweets talking about Elliot Anderson, how good he is. I would adore Elliot Anderson at United. He is the most Casemiro-like player in the league, and Casemiro being the weirdly important player we have at the moment. But I don't know. But his contract's not going to be his +1 option. Casemiro is not being ticked. So basically, I think they're going to offer him like a half wages contract. If he says no, we're just going to go get Anderson. We might end up getting Anderson. We're probably going to try and get him.
100 mil, they're saying.
I don't think that's true. because Ben Jacobs has been going on about this, saying that there's a load of complicated but thingy clauses about certain clubs and Champions League and not Champions League and Europe, Europe.
Hold on, mate. I didn't know Ben Jacobs.
Weird things.
I didn't know Ben Jacobs was an agent.
Ben Jacobs?
He's a journalist.
Yeah, he knows his stuff, though.
Right. So,
he knows his stuff.
Yeah, he knows his stuff, but I'm sorry, right? Just because Ben Jacobs says that doesn't mean...
Hey, personally, I trust Ben.
Right?
I trust Ben, but that's up to interpretation,
I'd be more into looking at the interpretation from Marinakis, right, than Ben Jacobs, right?
Don't remind me.
And I don't think that will be under 100 million, right? So you can go with Ben Jacobs, I'll go with Marinakis, yeah? That is going to be a big, big fee if they let him go at all. Sort of player you could do with. But then I look on United again, as we go back to United. What about Kobe Mainoo?
Oh, don't get me started on this Kobe Mainoo thing.
You're loading up, a season or so ago, he was way better than Elliot Anderson. He was in England's team. He was doing bits.
I agree.
So... get him back playing properly.
The Mainoo thing, I think the thing that annoys me is I think Anderson and Mainoo as a pairing. So in this midfield two, which I'm not a massive fan of, but I've just accepted it because that's not ever going away. Anderson and Mainoo as a pair would be so damn good.
Yeah, because
they would be so good together. And then you've got Bruno there, and Bruno is undroppable for us. Well, A, because he's the club captain, B, because he never gets injured, and C, he's our... Until we signed Mbeumo a couple months back, it's been our only reliable player for about 4 years. So I get why Mainoo isn't playing, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating. And if we had European football, if we didn't get knocked out to Grimsby, like Mainoo would have racked up at maybe at least 7 or 8 starts this season, which as a 20-year-old midfielder, like coming off the bench in some games, starting about maybe 40-50% of them, that's fine. But it's just that we got rid of all of those other games he would have started by being terrible last season. But basically, by losing to Spurs and losing to Grimsby has ruined Mainoo's whole reputation. And it's not even his fault, because against Grimsby, he was the only good player on the pitch, apart from Mbeumo when he came on. And against Spurs, I don't even know if he came on and played. But yeah, just back to the Liverpool-Nottingham Forest game, it might just be me hoping that it goes wrong for Liverpool, but I have just a sneaky suspicion that it's going to continue to be rough for Arne Slot.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nah, I think Liverpool win. I mean, they lost this game last season.
I can see a 2-2.
Remember, it's one of the few games they lost at home. But I can't see anything. I've actually gone for this in my final one standing. I think
for Liverpool?
I think it's a banker.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I can just see like a 2-2 draw or something. I can see a...
So where's the evidence for Forest? Going away from home.
My trusty gut. It's just Sean Dyche. I'm just looking at Sean Dyche and the long balls.
I think Liverpool are going to bounce back from that poor performance against
City.
I think they were rocked by how bad they were. I think they'll bounce back.
I can tell you Doyle was. I was on the live stream.
I mean, even me, I was stunned. I thought Liverpool might beat City. I was stunned by how bad they were. But I don't think... I think you might start seeing Liverpool sort of turning the corner and getting a few results now. They've got some favourable games coming up. I don't know what's happened to them. They've got the quality players all over the pitch. They're going to click at some time, but I'm not sure if this will be a clicking game, but I think they'll have it too much for Forest away.
You reckon?
Forest at Anfield.
Liverpool, I guess, yeah, you are right. They're obviously probably favourites. I'm just going back on what I've said now immediately, which I'm not doing with the Cesc Fabregas take, by the way. That one I'm standing strong on because I feel like I can't now. I can never go back on that one. I've just got to hope that Bruno Fernandes has a good rest of the season. Otherwise, I might be out of here by the summer.
Let me just tell you how this thing works, yeah? As a person with a little bit more experience than you in this space, yeah? Right? Every time Bruno has a bad game, they're coming for you.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
They're coming for you, right? I'd go back on it if I was you.
Nah, I'm staying there. Look, I got the messages behind the scenes saying, ball knowledge supreme, but no, okay, we'll move on before I dig my hole even further here.
The guy from the overlap told him he's right, so he thinks.
Yeah,
he's
man,
right
big up H2M UFC. But what's the other? Sorry, I've lost the other games. Where are they gone? The Burnley-Chelsea game, the only thing that's in my head is don't back the early kickoff. But at the same time, I actually think Chelsea are going to become better than people are giving them credit for at the moment. I actually don't mind some of their starting 11. It's just the £2 billion spent tag is hilarious. It's very funny to say it because their starting 11 for a team that spent £2 billion is not anywhere near what you would think maybe Arsenal would do with it or Liverpool would do with it, etc. But I actually do think that Chelsea are a little bit of, not in the title race, but in terms of getting to those Champions League spots like 4th and potentially 5th, I do think they do have a chance to click together a bit.
I think Chelsea will get top 4. I think still the problem for Chelsea's defence. I think, the fullbacks are very, very good, but the 2 centre halves are okay. And that's where I think the problem is for them. And listen, I think they'll win this game, but I don't think it'll be easy. Because, like you said, early kick-off, away at Burnley. We went away there a few weeks ago. Listen, I thought we played well that day. But I really do felt that Burnley gave everything.
Scott Parker's doing a better job than people are actually noticing.
They were very dogged. I think what I saw in that game when we played them, I'm like, if you go up there and you're not 100%, they could surprise you. I'm not saying necessarily beat Chelsea, but they could get a draw. They gave everything in that game against Arsenal. It wasn't like it was just a pushover. I mean, they didn't have any shots on target. We kind of dominated the game, but as I said, what I saw, the fight that they showed, for every battle, we had to battle for it to just make sure. And it was the same when they played Liverpool. Remember, had it not been for that stupid handball by Hannibal, right?
97th.
Yeah, they would have held out for a draw. Look, so early kickoff, just after an international break, that gives them a little
all the way up in Turf Moor as well.
Cold.
Yeah, cold. Turf
Moor.
Cold
it's been in England this week. That's not the sort of ideal fixture for Chelsea. I think Chelsea will win, but I think it's going to be a narrow.
It's going to be a rough win.
I think it'll be a narrow win. And bad news for Chelsea with the Cole. I see that Cole.
Yeah, the Cole Palmer stuff.
Yeah,
he's out for another 3 weeks. He stubbed his toe.
I mean, that's a bit of a shame. Listen, he's going to miss the game next week against Arsenal, right? I would be lying if I said that you
weren't happy with that.
That a player of that quality, how good he is. I think he's one of the best in the league. Him missing that game for an Arsenal fan. I don't want him out long term, but if he misses that game, I'm good with that. But Chelsea will have too much quality in the end.
Yeah,
it's a tricky little game, man. You've got players like returning from international duty. You got to go up there, as I said.
Yeah, it's rough.
No Chelsea player is really going to be saying, yes, we go to Burnley, yeah. You know what I mean? And as I said, when I watched Burnley when they played against us, they fought for everything. Everything. It's just
everything's about survival for them.
It's just that we had too much. It's just that we had too much quality, and they've even had some results this season that you're like, I mean, you see that they ain't going to be no pushover. So Chelsea has to go up there and be 100%, or they could get done. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you know how you mentioned obviously international break and then coming straight back to Chelsea, straight up to Burnley. That's the one thing I'm happy about our Monday night kickoff. So we've had about 9 or 10 of our players go international duty across South America, Europe, Africa as well, and then we've now got the players have had an extra day off. They've come back to training today. Yeah. We've got a few days against Everton at home.
You always beat Everton.
I really, really hope we put in a good display.
Yeah, but you always beat Everton.
We always do, but I don't trust my team at all because of the last 13 months I've had. I hope we beat them. But I'm really interested to see who starts up front because obviously Šeško's out for about 3-4 weeks now with a knee injury. Because I like Matheus Cunha. I really, really like that. He's like the kind of player that I love.
Play him as a false 9.
But I've not been a massive fan of him at a false 9 is the thing. Cheeto, he under 21s. Yeah. So our under 18 gets a lot of coverage because it's like that's like the famous Man United academy team, and the under 21s doesn't because they're not on TV as much. So he's actually gone. He's leveled up. He's playing with the under 21s now, and he plays against like League 2 teams, League 1 teams. But we only have one game a week. Yeah. So it means that the coverage on him has just gone quite. He's doing really well. He's scoring goals. He's scoring assists. His overall game is getting stronger and everything. But yeah, admittedly, it's not a great time in terms of like the public because he's so in the public eye. Probably one of the most famous 16-year-old transfers there's been in a long time.
Should probably have stayed at Arsenal. I think he would have got more game time at Arsenal than he's getting at United.
You reckon?
I don't think the system there, and then now the fact that you brought in so many attacking players there is pushed him further down the pecking order.
We actually didn't, though, because we got rid of 5 attacking players and bought 3.
But you still got like Xerxes, he can play up front, isn't he?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is why I'm interested. Xerxes played 90. He's played as many minutes this season for us as Andre Onana.
Wow.
That's how dire. So you talk about Mainoo's situation. Mainoo's at least coming off the bench in 4 of every 5 games. Xerxes is in the cold. He's A, in a cold Manchester, but B, he is so in the cold at the moment. I quite like Xerxes. I just think he's a nice, fun, neat player. But
he's not an out-and-out 9.
He's not going to succeed here long term.
He can give defences problems. I play him.
Yeah,
Everton. I think. Yeah.
But last time he started against Everton, he scored twice. Ronnie Dodge has asked me. Big up Ronnie Dodge, by the way, super chat. Thank you. He said, "Could Everton be a good time to give Lacey minutes?" Shea Lacey, so I don't know if you know who Shea Lacey is. He's an 18-year-old kid in our academy so before we had JJ Gabriel, who's like the new like shiny toy in the academy, 15-year-old, it was Lacey. He was like the big, we nicked him from Liverpool at a really young age. But then he's just had like knee injury, hamstring injury, ankle injury. So he's never been on pre-season tours and stuff. But he is a proper diamond. He's a very, very, very good right winger. He's quick, good with the ball at his feet, like a very classic, like old school United winger. And with AFCON in mind, losing both Mbeumo and Ahmad, he's the one at the moment, like kind of in United circles, the one who can step up. And like maybe not then play, because I think I've got a sneaky feeling Bruno Fernandes is going to go to right 10. Him or Cunha are going to go to right 10. Once Mbeumo and Ahmad go. But Shea Lacey is definitely, and if you guys haven't heard of him, just keep a little eye on him, because he's a very, very good player.
Okay.
He's at 18 years old now, so this is time where like if you are as good as I clearly am saying he is, that's when you start getting first team minutes. That's when you start getting that's 18 was around when Saka had started, right? Wasn't it? Yeah, like
17.
17 years old. So it's like when you're someone like Saka, for example, who's so highly regarded, this is around the time when you start getting minutes. But I just really hope he stays fit.
Look out for him.
Yeah, he genuinely is someone to look out for, just a United fan. But to answer Ronnie's question, no, I wouldn't give Lacey minutes against Everton, because I want Mbeumo to stay on the pitch for us as long as he can. Because when he's gone, he's then gone for like 3. We miss him. We're not having him for like 6 games, 7 games. And Ahmad's gone as well. So I want them to stay. Keep them playing for us as long as they can, because they're gone in a few games. Then maybe when it's like we got like West Ham at home midweek and stuff, I'm like, yeah, maybe give him 20 minutes a debut here and there. But he should be very good. Yeah. Oh yeah. Lacey, he was training with England's first team over the international break.
Wow.
So he got called up to the under-20s, and then Tuchel then brought him into first team training, and then the next week he then got moved up a group to the under-21s from the under-20s. He's a good, neat little player.
Let's see.
Yeah. I want to just before we go, I want to ask a quick question. What do you think the top right now? What do you think? How do you think the top 6 is going to end?
6.
Yeah, top 6. Basically, that's just European
got back
spots.
my boys, Arsenal.
Yeah.
City 2nd, Liverpool 3rd.
Okay, interesting.
Chelsea 4th. Man United, I think, could get 5th. And maybe either Villa or Spurs 6th.
I would put Spurs 6th, but funnily enough, I could actually completely agree with you with that. Or I might swap Chelsea and Liverpool. I might say Chelsea 3rd.
Yeah.
I just think Liverpool are so they will click at some point, but I don't.
Liverpool are not going to be as bad as this all season.
No. But the thing is I look at it. I don't know if they're going to click this season.
Yeah,
for them, I'm looking at the summer.
Yeah,
and
I think the other thing with Liverpool is that they won't lose lots of games at home, so that home form will get them into that position.
Yeah, I hear it. But regardless, thank you, Robbie, for coming on, jumping on last minute. I know it's been great, but remember to look out for Best of Enemies. It's dropping really, really soon. We're literally just finishing up behind the scenes.
Don't miss it.
It's a fantastic preview, obviously, mostly to do with the Arsenal versus Tottenham game. It's Robbie and X. It's fantastic. But apart from that, there's also loads more action coming on over the weekend. There's, I believe, the Saturday football show will be on Saturday. Yeah. FCM on Sunday, then weekend roundup with yourself and all the others, 12:30. Make sure to look out for that. I'll be back here 5 p.m. on Monday to also dissect the weekend's action with whoever's on the table with me. And apart from then, I will see you then.
Hi, and welcome along to the best of enemies. Hey, you're looking trim though.
You've been running from the show.
Don Robbie is here in Saudi Arabia.
Man.
What are you about your team?
It's not about Man United right now.
I'm a Saudi Arabia, man. They ain't gonna let me down. What an exciting game.
You were robbed.
You weren't
That
robbed.
was
In
offside.
VAR.
We are here today for the burial of Arsenal's Premier League dreams.
How you doing, Rob? How are you, bro?
Well, none of you two can talk to me because at least we challenge for the league. Al Riyadh, they're taking on Al Nassr today. Big game. One of the biggest games of the season.
Do you know how shameless you are, bro? You're supposed to be winning the league, but you're doing a hate-along, bro.
I've been chased by a tractor. You've brought in opera singers. When you say Tottenham, you put respect on us.
Depart the room for about the next 5 minutes or so.
How?
Because we're going to talk about the Champions League. Who would have thought a Tottenham fan, a Manchester United fan, and an Arsenal fan would get along?